morning, everybody. It is Sunday, May 17th. I'm Will McDonald from Adelaide, South Australia, and I'm here to talk about paintball jerseys, some of my jerseys, some of your jerseys. It's really just a way of staying connected with the wider paintball community, giving me something to do, and also just, providing another avenue for people to talk paintball and engage. I will say, it sounds like we are lucky enough that some people might be getting out to fields soon, and when that happens, then I'll probably fade this out, because a lot of this technology I've got set up to be able to do some live streams at our local field, so I might kind of reallocate my attention. I haven't decided yet. Anywho, I wanted to start today by talking about a jersey I mentioned last week. So last week I talked about Karl Markowski and how he had sent me a photo via Instagram that was a disappearing message, and it disappeared before I could take a picture of it, and I was gutted. Well, he followed up and sent me that picture again, and so I just wanted to share that with you. So this is his one of his prized jerseys. As you can see, it's framed and hanging on his wall, and that is an 06 excessive jersey. And I talk about this era of paintball a lot. It's that whole a time when I was really into those monkey with a gun videos, and it was definitely an exciting era. And I was also really curious because you may have seen that Pro Tour has started a new league. They've got an event coming up June something. It's called it's a 7-man Pro Tour Quarantine Open. And it's not open to pro players, to my knowledge, but it's a 7-man uncapped semi-tournament, and I thought that would be kind of right up Karl Markowski's alley, though he, wouldn't qualify to play. I don't believe, but it might be another building league. There's a lot of people that love 7-man. There's a lot of people that love the uncapped semi. So we'll see what happens there. Just another shout out to Scotty Martin, who's pumping out these podcasts, these interview podcasts through his Down Under Paintball. His most recent one is with Connor Johnston from New Zealand. He runs PB Athlete. Now, I haven't had a chance to listen to this one in full, I have to say, but I do a pretty good job of keeping up with them, and Scotty does do a really good job with these interviews. They're really informal, and really, they just really kind of showcase the people he's interviewing. So I'm really excited about this one. And this one is particularly timely. Hey, I got Jim in that chat here. G'day, Jim. How are you going? I wonder where you are this morning. I hear you guys might be getting together. Let me know in the chat. This one's really timely because Connor's got some jerseys that are coming our way to Oz very soon. So as you can see in the photo there, he's got all the new Eskimo jerseys in, folded up, looking smick. Looks like the baby blue was the way to go. So anyway, those look tight, and I know that PB Athlete is just gonna keep expanding and growing, and we really should get around that, I think. What else have we got to talk about? So here is this is a Dynasty jersey, that OG hot pinstripe Dynasty jersey that I came across recently. That is a Dave Baines jersey, which I'd never seen a Dave Baines Dynasty jersey like this one. And this comes from the Jokers, who are out at Skirmish SA, as I see right now. So the Jokers received a little bit of a care package to be able to auction off as a fundraiser for the team. And this was one of the gems in their package. Now, more details about their auction will be forthcoming. There's autographed T-shirts and hats and other bits and pieces, banners. Definitely cool stuff for the collector, but this one really stood out. And this one did not even go to auction. Good morning, Dan. How you going, Rui? This one didn't even go to auction because it was posted up in a sort of international paintball jersey trader spot, and people went pretty mad for it, as you'd imagine. So they were able to move this on at a good price to kind of fill the coffers for their team, which is really awesome. So speaking of the Jokers, that chat with the boys around that jersey also facilitated a chat with Richard Burian, he used to play for Fusion and now he plays for Jokers. He and I played on Fusion Red a long time ago, and he shared some of his prized collection. So he's got an old school Russian Legion J-Reb jersey, which would be well sought after. Hey, I got my mom and dad in the chat. Now, Richard also shared a Rodney Squires Dynasty Entourage jersey. Now, this one was no surprise to me because Fusion had a real strong connection with Rodney Squires. In fact, he came over and did a clinic on how to maintain the Dynasty Shockers that the boys were shooting back in the day. And for a long time, for the longest time, he designed the layouts for SEPA, which was kind of cool. I got Spatch in the chat saying he's got a Rabikov jersey as well. I don't have a Rabikov jersey, but I do have a J-Rab headband that's autographed by J-Rab when he played with the Red Legion, but that's in Charlottesville. And it's good to see you in the chat too, Easy. Richard also shared this one with me, and now this one, of all of Richard's jerseys, this one would be the most important to me were I Richard, because this is a London Shock jersey, and Richard's son, James Burian, played with them when they were in, I forget where you were, James and Richard. I don't know if that was in World Cup Asia, I forget. Forgive me for that one. But it's pretty sweet that he's got this jersey that his son wore to play competitively overseas. So that's pretty awesome. What else have we got here? Now, speaking of people that know heaps about paintball, I learned a lot about the guy in this photo just yesterday, maybe the day before. And I'm not talking about Mark Cresson. So let me just catch up with my notes here. So let me talk about Jared Baker. So you might know Jared Baker from playing from Explicit, and I played with Frequency for a little while, and I know he also played with Raw for a bit. But that Dave Baines jersey that the Jokers were selling, that kind of sparked a connection with Jared. He reached out and was asking me questions about that and kind of helping us find the right people for that jersey, which is really helpful. Thank you for your help, Jared. But this guy knows some stuff about paintball jerseys, and he started sharing some of his collection, which was remarkable. It's one of the most impressive paintball jerseys, certainly in Australia. Now, I won't go into too much because he and I started talking a lot about it, and I have a feeling that he might start to feature a little bit strongly in some of these episodes because his collection is so amazing. But just to share just one, I just picked one because I'm a big Todd Martinez fan. I love Todd Martinez. He's funny as he's, went from being a strong player, getting involved in the industry, manufacturing, coaching. He just coached the LA Ironmen to a win. And then also his commentary on Go Sports, to say nothing of like the dirter stuff. And that's an old school Todd Martinez Avalanche jersey. And that's like the smallest little trace of what Jared has in his collection. So I will definitely be tapping into his collection and his expertise. He knows what he's talking about. So thanks for that, Jared. Speaking of pros, hopefully you know Pat Kraft Jr. So this guy and his team from New York, these guys have just raised the bar as far as like, intensity and just smack talk. They've made paintball a lot more entertaining of late. I see Easy's piping up about Pat Kraft for sure. Hashtag booming, hashtag hopper dumps, pod throws. Yeah, these guys know how to stir people up for sure. So I reached out to Pat, and he shared one of his prized jerseys, which I thought was really awesome. Now, I didn't know anything about this jersey. I don't know TNN. I didn't know what it was. So I asked him, and he wrote to me, and I'll just read it verbatim. He says, first national tournament win for myself and TNN, Team No Name. Back in 2011, I was 17 and just graduated high school. The taste of victory that day is what I've been chasing since, but this time I want it at the highest level. That sounds like Pat Kraft to me. If you don't know what he does, check them out. Those guys, they just like lift the bar as far as passion. That's what it is. It's passion. So I was really psyched that he sent that through to me. I appreciate that. Okay, now transitioning slowly to the jerseys that I've got to show you here. I've got 2 to show off today, and it starts with this guy right here. So this is Chris. We call him Krispy Kreme. Sometimes we call him 5-0 because, as you can tell from the photo, he is clearly police. He also looks like a sort of an extra on a Beastie Boys video or something like that. But that is one of the greatest photos of all time. I love that photo. So Chris was the captain of the Rock and Cox pump team for a little while there. We had a few people leading the team over time. And when I moved over to Australia, he was pretty much the guy who was leading the charge and taking the team to national tournaments and that sort of thing. And he always looked after me over here. And a couple of years ago, I was back for Christmas. He knew I was in town, and he just gave me a shout. Let's meet up at a coffee shop. I just got something I want to show you. So we had this sort of haphazard catch up at a coffee shop, and we talked about a few things, and then he put a bag on the table and just started pulling out stuff to show me. And I guess I'm getting ahead of myself because that's when he gave me some amazing jerseys. But before I get into those, I forgot. He's also sent me some to share right here. So I think it was last week I pointed out that I spotted a Hammers jersey in a buy-sell trade form, which those are kind of rare. Some of them are like old softball jerseys. I think it was Todd Martinez's softball team. And he has one of these. I mentioned it last week. He says this is the paintball version of one of those. And they used them for one event, an NPPLDC. And he bought this straight from Todd Cash Money himself, Todd Martinez. So that's a sweet jersey. This one's pretty interesting. Again, we got another old school Avalanche jersey. He called this the silver tuna of his collection. I don't know what that means. I'm assuming that's good. Rab's jersey, so Steve Rabikoff, he wore it in 2000 when they won the Toulouse World Cup. It's a jersey Rab apparently really wants back and tried to find it but never could. And Crispy told him he'd give it back if he ever stopped playing, and he'd hope to give it back at the June NXL event at Virginia Beach, but he doesn't think that's going to happen, obviously. That's a killer jersey to have in a collection. And then if you can end on a Lang jersey, why not? So he says this one's a blank Oliver Lang jersey, so some of the obvious sponsors are still on there, and then later sponsors get ironed on after the fact, apparently. And this one's also signed by Ollie on the back. So any Ollie Lang jersey is a good jersey. Now, the reason, as I said, the reason I was showing off some of Crispy's collection is because he very generously, in that cafe when we were having a cup of coffee in Charlottesville for Christmas time a year or two ago, he pulled out some really amazing stuff to give to me. And one being that J-Rab Russian Legion headband. Now, I will say, the more I learn about this sort of stuff, the more I realize I don't know about this sort of stuff. So there's so much about jersey collection and the paintball industry in general that I just don't know. I say Easy's keeping up with Crispy there. Yeah, that is a classic photo, and Easy, we're lucky to have Crispy around, eh? So I don't know heaps about these, but I'll share what I got here. So these are both Pump Team jerseys. So this is a Total Grief jersey, and I know a little bit about Total Grief. I know they're sponsored by CCM, which is the best pump guns you could get. And these guys were a really competitive pump team for a while there, and I know they're sort of like a brother team to my Rock and Cox team. Jay Hill. Again, I feel like a little bit of a jerk because I don't know these guys as well as I'd like to, but I know the team for sure. And Crispy had a connection with these guys. Like I said, they were sort of a brother team to us. Most of this happened when I'd already moved to Australia. But Total Grief. First of all, the name Total Grief, it ties right into the whole rockin' cocks hurtin' feeling stuff. I just love it. So that is a prize jersey. Thank you, Crispy, for that one. That's a prize jersey for sure. And then another amazing pump team, another one that I don't know heaps about other than the name. Crispy generously gave me a Chicken Nuggets jersey. You can see this dude, he's got shooting a stock class, looks like a Phantom there. SC Village, so you know it's good. Yeah, so Chicken Nuggets, Taylor 17. Again, I don't know heaps about this player, but I sure know the team. And Chicken Nuggets are a legendary paintball team. I think they had a Signature Series pump gun as well, as I recall. But I'm pretty proud of that. It's also pretty cheater. Man, it's got some pads in there. Easy saying that man is a blessing. Well said. Well said. That man is a blessing. We've had some good leadership on our team, not the least of which is James. James Gist. James, I'll just call him Spoon. He was a legend as well. Now, let me just see here. What have I got else to talk about? I got nothing else to talk about, apparently. And it looks like the stream held in there. How about that? All right, well, for those of you watching, thanks for being here. Spatch, Easy, Jim, thank you guys for checking us out. Mom and Dad, thanks for checking it out. As we kind of come out of this COVID-19 stuff, we'll see where I go with this. Might get bigger, might get smaller. We'll see. But in the meantime, everybody keep doing the right thing. Have a good week. Hopefully we'll see you on the field sooner rather than later. All right, guys. See ya.